Hello, boys and girls. Tuesday. Let's pull out our money worksheet, which looks like this one. Now, some of you called me last week because you had trouble. And one of you was trying to add some of your money. Now, if you're going to add a money, let's look at the very first one. What we need to do is learn how to count. So let's pull this one up on the board. So it is a dime. What's a dime worth? A dime is worth 10 cents. And then it was a quarter. What's a quarter worth? 25 cents. And then we had a penny, which is worth 1 cent. And we're going to add all of those together. So we should start with our biggest one. What's our biggest one? Let's put it in order. 25. So 25 and count by 10 is 25, 35, plus 1 is 36. Or what you could do is you could line it up and add it. You can do 25 plus 10 plus 1. Now remember, we got to keep our numbers in our place values. Some of you need to remember your ones place and your tens place. Hopefully you're watching these videos. 5 plus 1 is 6. 2 plus 1 is 3. So you have 36 cents. Okay? You've got to learn to count. If you had 3 of these, what are you going to count by? Let's review real fast. Let's pull out all of our money and put it in the right order. Some of you are having difficulty. What is 100 cents? 100 cents equals $1. What is 200 cents? That equals $2. What about 300 cents? $3. What about 400 cents? $4. 100 cents equals $1. So if this is 50 cents, it takes 2 of these to equal $1 because we count 50, 100. This is 25 cents. It takes 4 to equal $1. 25, 50, 75, 100. 100 cents. It takes 4 quarters. How about a dime? It takes 10. Count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 cents. It's $1. It takes 20 nickels and it takes 100 pennies to be $1 because 100 cents. So if you have 3 of these, 50 cents plus 50 cents plus 50 cents, all you have to do is count by 50s. 50, 100, that's $1, 150. So you have $1.50. You got to learn to count. If you're going to add your numbers, don't add them like this. Put your numbers in a straight line. 50 plus 50 plus 50. Add them like that. And then you put your line down and you start with your ones place. Your ones is 0, 5, 10, 15. That is your tens place. Okay? Line your numbers up like this if you're going to add them. So make sure you get those added. And make sure you do your dollars the right way. All right, boys and girls, if you need help, give me a call. And I'll see you tomorrow, Wednesday. We're going to do... Oh, wait. It's not time to stop yet. We've got to do rounding. What's going on with my brain? I was like, all the money. So pull out your rounding number. Now, we rounded to the nearest 1. We move our money over because we don't need that right now. We rounded to the nearest 1. This time, we're going to round to the nearest, we rounded to the nearest 1 and to the nearest 10. Now we're going to round to the nearest 100. So for example, if you had 65, well, let's do something harder. If you had 68, the closest 10 is 70 and the closest 10 is 60. Is 68 closer to 70 or is it closer to 60? Well, we're going to circle our tens place because that's what we're rounding to, and we're going to underline our ones place. We're going to look at this number because that's what we're rounding to. We look at the next number. Is this 5 or higher? Yes. So it rounds up to 70. Okay? Now, let's look at the other one. 813. This is your first one. Now, hopefully you know your place values by now because we've discussed them multiple times. Say them with me. Ones, tens, hundreds. Ones, tens, hundreds. Ones, tens, hundreds. You've got to remember your place value, boys and girls. It's very important. So we're rounding up to the nearest 100. So which is our hundreds? Is it the 3? Is it the 1? Or is it the 8? Well, it's the 8. So we're going to circle the 8 and we're going to underline the 1. So is this number, and we just ignore this one. We just ignore our ones place. We don't even need it right now. Is this number right here, our tens place, which is the next number, is it 5 or higher? No, it's less than 5, so it's going to round down. What's the nearest 100 this way? Because remember, we're going to hundreds, and then up here we 900, right? So if we're going to round down to the nearest 100, 813 is closer to 800 or is it closer to 900? Well, it's closer to 800. So this is going to equal 800. So we just make all these zeros. We're rounding this number. Remember, so these numbers just become zeros because the closest is 800. All right, let's look at the next one. It's the same way, you just one more number. Okay, so the next one, number 2, is 894. We're rounding to the nearest hundreds. Ones, tens, hundreds. So you're going to circle your hundreds place, and you're going to underline the next number. So I'm going to look at your papers. Hopefully you're actually doing this. So we're going to look, do we even need to look at the ones place? No, because we're rounding to the nearest 100. So this number right here, 9, is that higher than 5? Is that 5 or higher, or is it less than 5? Well, of course it's higher. So we're going to round up. So 894, what's the 200s closest? You have 800, which is on this side, and you have 900, which is on this side. We're going to round it up to 900. So 894 is closer to 900 than it is to 800 because we do this 9 here is higher than 5. So it changes this to a 9, just like if you didn't have this 4 here, it'd round up to 90, wouldn't it? See? 89 goes to 90. So 894 is going to go to 900, and you just make zeros after everything. And let me just show you. Let's say 8,942, and you're rounding up to the nearest 1,000. It would just be 9, 1, 2, 3. It would still be 9,000 because you're rounding to the nearest 1,000. But we're rounding to hundreds, so don't even worry about thousands right now. Let's do one more, and then the rest of them you're going to do on your own, okay? And we're going to check them. All right, let's do number 3. 394. That looks like a lot like the one we just did, right? So we're doing our hundreds place. We're rounding to the nearest 100. So we're going to go ones, tens, hundreds. Cool. So let's circle our hundreds place. And of course, underline your 9 or your tens place because it's the next number. You underline the next number. Now, is this number 5 or higher? Yes, it is. So we need to round this number up to what? If we take this, are we going to make it bigger or smaller? Well, it's going to go up because this one's bigger. So it's just going to equal 4. And what do we do about these? Just add 2 zeros. Because on this side is 300 and on this side is 400. Is 394 closer to 300 or is 394 closer to 400? Of course, it's closer to 400, so we're going to round up to 400. But we don't even need to write this because we know that this 9 is higher than 5. So that's going to make this number go up, just like with the tens. Except you have an extra number, it just turns into a 0. All right, boys and girls, if you have questions and you need help, make sure you call me. Be sure to circle your hundreds and underline the next number, and it'll help you. All right, we'll see you on Wednesday, where we're going to do, what are we doing on Wednesday? Place value. This is important. All right, bye.